Hey all, good evening. So glad to get connected on a Sunday evening. Probably it's a hard time, but you are taking specifically for this, so I have a special thanks for you guys. Okay, so probably I'll split this webinar based on the expectations. Okay, so if you have any queries, feel free to reach out. I'll add at the end as well. Okay. So first, let me introduce myself. So as she said, I'm the founder and CEO. That is one part. I'll introduce myself from a developer angle. Actually, one of my favorite jobs is to be always a developer. Okay, because that gives you the adrenaline rush as well as the dopamine effect every time. Okay, so that way, so being a developer is always a beautiful job. Okay, though sometimes it is frustrating. So to start with, I didn't become a developer because I wanted to be or I dreamt to be a developer kind of story. Okay, I became a developer because I was pushed into this. So I'll tell the story of how I was pushed into it, and then how I started enjoying it. Okay, so after my 12th grade, okay, school, okay, I wanted to join BSc Physics. That was my favorite. I want to be a physicist. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Looks like your voice is not audible to some of our
Okay.
participants. Yeah.
How about you? Like for you, it is audible, or if it's still
Yes,
it
yes,
is not?
it's audible for me. So around like 10 to 15 people, it's not audible.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what it is. Okay. Uh, let me check my mic. There are the settings. Settings. Meeting info, computer sound. And the settings are there.
The voice is audible, but it is not clear. Yeah.
Clear. Okay. So it's not about the voice, it's about how I talk. If I understand that is
There
better.
is an echo that's coming in.
Okay. The echo might be because of the room. Actually, right now I'm in my room and we are whitewashing the room. So because of that, it is little empty. That could be a reason why there is an echo. Okay, so apologies for that. Right now, I don't have a solutions for it because the room is almost empty except me and the laptop and other things. There are few books we have it, but other than that, nothing is there in the room. So that is the reason for the echo. Okay. Your voice is like an echo. Sorry, man. So that is because of the room. The room is hollow or empty right now. Okay. So we are doing small cleanup in the house. So I'm taking this from the house, not from the office. So that is the reason. Okay. So coming back to the story about my introduction. So that's how, I wanted to be a physicist, but I was pushed into engineering because typical middle class family, right? So somebody said, you'll get a job if you go to engineering. So my dad dragged me and put me into some engineering. He also didn't know what engineering is. But again, some uncle suggested it was computer science would be good. But I was put into information technology. So both are kind of same. There is no difference between these two things except the number of seats in a college. Okay. So increase the seat, they had the different departments. Okay, but ultimately the same. So they put me into that. The first year, first month was a horrible month. So I had a very tough time because I couldn't. Everything is a Greek to me. Okay, so what I did was like I started to add a fuel to the fire. One of my friend who was a guy in computer science in 12th grade, okay, he put a lot of scenes saying that he knows programming very well, whereas I don't. Okay, so that was the irritating moment. Okay, so during that time, I had another friend. He is not from computer science department. Okay, so what he did was he started. Helping me out in learning. Okay, your voice is breaking. What should I do? The network is fine, I guess. because of the room, it is like that. Okay. Voices. Okay. Let me check. I'll switch on the Bluetooth. Hello. Is it audible better now, or like it's still in the same way?
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
Okay. Okay. Probably then I have to remove my headphones. So this is because of this could be. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Okay. So that's how, I mean, so far I was telling my story, so it is not that big deal. So those who have missed it, it's fine. Okay. So I was pushed into computer science, and I had two friends, one friend who was pulling me down, another friend who was helping me up. So I started learning programming because of the other friend who was from an electronics department. He taught me computer science. The first year he told me to learn, I mean, I didn't have a computer at the time. Okay. So he told me, you for learning computer science, all you need is a book and a paper. I mean, note and a paper. Sorry, pen and a paper. So I took a pen and paper. He was my compiler. He will tell program, I'll write it in the note, and he will explain that to me. I mean, he will correct it and explain where I have gone wrong. This is how I learned programming. Okay. So why I'm saying the story is like, so anybody who's learning programming for the first time, I would suggest you to start in a pen and paper for at least a week or two. Okay. Because when you're learning programming, you are fighting two battles. One is the syntax battle. Actually, three battles. One is the syntax battle. Another one is a logical battle. Third part is like, I don't know kind of battle. Okay. I am computer science is art, like the mind blocks. So there are three battles generally we fight. Okay. So for solving this, so I would suggest remove the syntax part from your head. By how we can do it in the paper. Okay. So when you write in the paper, you don't have need to worry about the syntax. It will not throw any error. You will not get scared. Okay. Okay. Some people have raised it. So let me check the chat. Drop the message in the chat. That will be helpful for me to read. Those who have raised, Arun Prakash and Majmal. Okay. So please drop the message in the chat. That will be helpful. Okay. Okay. Welcome, Manoj. Okay. Okay. Manoj wanted to become a physics student. He was a physics student. Now he wants to become a full stack developer. Very well. Tamil I mean, there are a lot of people from throughout India, so I can't do it in Tamil. I love to do it in Tamil, but this is for all the audience. So it will be hard for me to be in one language. தமிழ் தான் எனக்கு தெரியும், நல்லா பேச முடியும், எனக்கு அந்த பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. பட் நான் எல்லா க்ரௌடும் இருக்கிறதுனால ஐ கான்ட் டூ இட் இன் தமிழ். ப்ளீஸ், சாரி. சரிங்களா? ஓகே, திஸ் இஸ் மை 4th year. I've got cleared. Okay, whatever. It's okay. Okay, I'll hold all your message till the last, and if there is anything, I'll do it. Okay. So, okay, coming back to my story. So first one, I'm sorry, I'll switch to English mode. Okay. So remove the syntax part from it by doing it in the paper. The first 2 weeks, try to solve whatever problems you are having in the paper. For example, let's say if you are learning programming, you want to learn greatest of 3 numbers. Okay. Or addition in an array. Okay. Whatever small things. Okay. Try to do it in the paper and you become the compiler. Okay, or take a help from the friend. So ideal case would be you becoming the compiler and you correcting your own paper. So if you do that, you will be able to understand the problem and you can learn it. That's how I learned programming for the first. Then when I started doing it, I started loving the outcome of it, because every time when I get, I was not an athlete, I was not a topper. So the only thing which was giving me satisfaction in the college or the entire life was my programs. So every time when I get the output, I'll feel like very much satisfied. Okay. That's how it was there. And programming is one of the easiest thing in my life I have seen. Okay. I'm a lazy fellow. Okay. The only thing where you need to put in programming is your brain. Okay. The rest of the other things you can sit and then sleep and then do things. For example, I used to think while not sleeping, before sleeping.
Okay. And on the way, like I'll sleep itself while thinking the code itself. That's how I used to do it. And in the way, when I wake up in the midnight, okay, I'll switch on the light and try to correct it as well. So this is how I did it. And being a lazy person, that was a very fun thing. Okay. So that's how I learned programming. So learning programming is not a hard thing. Okay. It was really simple, especially in the modern world. So you can either start with two simple languages, either JavaScript or Python. Okay. These are the two languages anybody should start with. If you are a full stack developer, I would always recommend you to start with JavaScript. So JavaScript is such a forgiving language. Okay, it will accept all your mistakes until unless you are too stupid. It will accept most of your errors, and that is a little scary as well. It's like your mom. Your mom will never say you that you are wrong. Okay, the same way JavaScript will never say you are wrong. Okay, most of the issues it will observe, but it will give you a hick or trouble in later part. But it's okay to start with JavaScript. It is so easy. Okay, so that's how I became a programmer. Then I joined the first job, okay, Honeywell. So before joining, I have spent almost a good amount of time. I mean, my only pastime or the recreation or thing is programming. Either I watch movies, the rest of the times I'll do code. That's how I used to be. In between, I used to eat. That's all. So these are three activities I used to do as if I am awake. So I'll eat, I'll code, I'll watch movies, then sleep. This is how my routine was. So you have to, I mean, if you want to be a good programmer, you have to follow this routine at least for minimum 3 months. Okay, nothing else. Okay, if you do that, you will be able to learn programming in a very, very easier way. Okay, nothing else. Like movie, the same amount of, if I watch 3 hours movie, I'll sit with 3 hours code, or I'll do like, for example, in between the movies, I'll take a break and look at the code, then go back to the movies. I mean, now we have all OTTs, but when I was there, we used to have the CDs and the MP4 videos, right? So I used to pause and then do it. That's how I did it. So that's how I became a programmer. And one of the things which every programmer should learn is reading the documentation. Okay, we assume that wrongly that documentation or reading is not needed for a programmer. A programmer should be a good reader. Okay, you don't need to read a novel. At least you should be patient enough to read 1 page of an article, 1 page article. Okay, which would take 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, be patient about it. That part is very, very mandatory for a developer, because daily in the development cycle, you will get a lot of new tools, new languages, new libraries, new syntaxes, new examples. Lot of things will come in. For everything, somebody will not be there to come and teach you. So the only best way is to go and read it by yourself. You can watch videos and learn it as well. That is also a current option we have it. But watching a video will not be great as you doing or you reading on your own. Okay, so typically I read once, then watch the videos, or do reverse, whichever is comfortable for you. It is like think like when you're going in a bike or a car, sitting as a passenger and sitting as a driver. Okay, when you drive the bike or a car, you will get much more familiarity compared to sitting as a passenger. So that way, watching a video is like sitting as a co-passenger. Whereas reading a blog or article is like driving your bike on your own. Okay. So that is one thing which you should be doing it. Okay. So, okay. That's how I became a programmer, and I started loving programming. So I was a developer for around 17 years. Yeah, roughly around 17 years. Then I became the CEO of the company. So that was a straight switch from there to here. That's how it is. So till date, I sit and code. Okay, because I'm a CEO, I don't code. I sit and code on my own. I have a lot of pet projects, so I do that as well. Okay, if anybody has a question whether after becoming a CEO, do you code or not? Yes, I do code. So coding is always part of it. So whenever I'm bored, I'll sit and code. Whenever I get time, I'll sit and code. That's how it is. Okay, so in this webinar, some of the things what we'll be looking at is like so what are the trends or the technologies that will help you to land in your dream job? Okay. Second one is important thing. Most of the people ask how many programming languages I need to master. there are roughly around 20 languages, popular languages. Should I learn all 20 or should I learn 10 or should I learn 5? I'll answer this question. And the third question is how much time you need to time and hard work you need to invest for your dream job. Okay. Again, it is little subjective. I can give a framework for it. Okay. So that is the third thing we will cover in terms of expectation. And last one is what are the resources, top resources that you can learn programming to advance your career. Okay, this is the expectation. And in this presentation, I'll have this as an agenda. Okay. Meanwhile, based on your questions, I'll deviate to the other questions or anything, whatever it is needed. Okay. So let's get into the flow. So typically, full stack developer is a new trend which has been picking up for the last 3 years, I would say. Yeah. Before that, it was not a popular term. Okay. It was in the last 3 years, it was very much popular. Okay. In the system. Okay. So not only in India, it's in the worldwide. I would say why it is. I'll explain why it is from a company perspective or a developer perspective so that you can get it better. So web development or the full stack development is nothing but your age-old web development. So if you know anything about internet or computers, so you'll know web pages, you will know all those things, right? So from past 20 years, the web development was there. Okay. But the term full stack is coined recently. Okay. Earlier it was when it started the web development, it was much more of the plain pages or a static pages, it is called. Okay. Which has like no matter who's watching the page, it will be same. Okay. So you will have the same, think like a blog. Okay. Blog doesn't change its content for a user. Okay. Probably it is a decent example, or sometimes you can say that the portfolio websites. Okay, the portfolio websites like the photography portfolios or any portfolio websites which you have it will be same for everyone because the same thing you are going to showcase. That's how it was for first 10 years. It was like that. From 90s to 2005, it will be like it was like that. Mostly predominantly static pages. Somewhere in 2000, late 2000, so we started getting dynamic pages. Okay, so dynamic pages is, I mean, before that also it was there, but it was a little harder. So it became a common term there, dynamic pages. Like if you are familiar with Java, you might have heard JSP, okay, or ASP.NET. Not before .NET, it was ASP. Like that, lot of Perl, okay, Perl, what other languages was there? I forgot. Okay, there are a lot of, even C had web development. C++ was there as a web development part. Okay, so where the page would be dynamically created for a user. Okay, let's say if Arun logs in, I'll have a certain set of contents like your Facebook or Instagram page. Okay, or a Gmail. Okay, or even GUVI. For example, if I log into GUVI, my specific things will come in. For example, let me switch. I'll show this. Yeah. So this page, right? The first page is common for all. This is a static page. This is not a dynamic page actually. This page comes same for every user, no matter whoever it is. Not only this, probably if you go to the full stack development or a data science page, whatever it is. Okay. So if you go here, advanced data science, this page is a static page. Okay. So it doesn't matter whoever it is going to be the same thing. But if I go to the courses, okay, so in the courses page, the content of the courses will differ. For example, my courses, so whatever I bought, I'll have it. Okay, this is a dynamic page. Dynamic means it changes depending upon the user. Okay, so this used to be a popular thing when I started development. Okay, so all the dynamic pages were there. Okay, where we call that as a backend developer, people call that as the server side programming. Yeah, not a backend. So at the time it used to call server side programming, client side programming, server side programming. Okay, so server side programming is nothing but your backend development. and your client side programming is nothing but your front end development. Okay, the same thing is renamed into new things. So in IT, we are a very good guys. How we create jobs is like we rename everything and then we showcase that as a new technology and then go for it with little tweaks here and there. It doesn't be the same thing, but that's how it is. Okay. Now, 1 second, let me check the chat. Is there anything? Okay, Vaishnavi says that she is in 3rd year. She is not efficient in programming language. Can you tell me the steps? Yes, I'll do that. Okay, so so this is a dynamic thing. So what happened was, so this was very popular. I mean, the server side and client side was very popular when there were only MNCs in the game. So when I say MNCs, all the top companies, bigger companies, who's having at least a minimum employee count of around 500 to 50,000 or 20,000 people. Okay, so those kind of companies had a different teams for different jobs. Okay, but all of a sudden startups came in. Okay, when startups came in, for example, we were a startup. When we started it, I couldn't hire a front-end developer, a back-end developer, or a separate administrator kind of it. So what I did was I hired one guy, okay, and asked him to develop everything. And we had only a team of around 5 people for at least 5-6 years. So they were the guys who developed everything. Okay, so when that is the case, so he has to learn front end, he has to learn the back end, he has to learn other setups like AWS, everything, or whatever database, everything. So that is how the term full stack development became popular. Okay, the full stack became popular mostly because of the startups and product companies, where we couldn't hire more people. And also this is one angle from the recruitment. The second angle is it gave a responsibility. For example, if you see old cricket matches, there will be a person who will be sitting in the mid, and he'll be when the ball passes, he'll raise the hand and he'll point to the guy who's in the long to go and catch the ball. So he will not run, he will point it and then he will ask the other guy to go and take the ball. Okay, so just pointing will happen. Finally the ball might go to boundary as well. Okay, in cricket. Okay, this is also happening in development as well. Whenever there is a issue, the backend team will blame the front end, the front end team will blame the backend team. If both the teams are okay, they'll blame the configuration of the administration team or the hosting team. Okay, that's how it is. So having too many teams, the chances of blaming each other was also there. Okay, the cohesion between different teams are not great in the things. If you are a single developer who knows everything, so you cannot blame someone else. You have to take care of the front end, you have to take care of the back end, you have to take care of the data passing between these two things, and you know the expectations because it is you and your own team. Okay, so that is how this became very popular. Okay, this full stack development. This is also second reason why full stack development became very popular. So instead of passing the balls, so one guy can take the responsibility and he can resolve the problem, whatever problem it is. Okay, so that is one of the things. Okay, so that's how the new word full stack development came into picture in the past few years. Okay, but the story was same for the 20 years. Only the name was changed. It is like how the movies were there. The same love story, but in a different angle. The same thing it is. Okay, the same web development in a different angle. Okay, so going back to the question asked by Vaishnavi. So how to become a good developer? So one of the things that will help you is like go to CodeKata in GUVI. If you log in CodeKata, you have a lot of questions. Okay, if you solve 3 sets of questions in this, like mathematics, array, and strings, you will become a decent programmer in the first level. MAS, I would say, like mass. Okay, math, array, and strings. So if you go back into this, you'll have a lot of problems. You solve it in any language of your choice. It doesn't matter which language you are picking. Okay, you solve it in your own language. If you're able to solve it, so you'll be good enough to get it started. So solve at least, let's say in the math, we have around array, we have around 300 questions. In that, solve around 30 questions. Okay. In mathematics, we have around 192. Okay. Sorry guys. So in mathematics, we have around 192 questions. If you are able to solve around 20 to 30 questions, that will be good. In string also, it's same 200 plus questions. Solve around 20 questions. So if you're able to solve 30, 20 here and 20, 70 questions, you will be able to do it. And try to solve it in paper first, then go ahead with solving in the actual compiler. That is the thing which you should do it. Okay. So that way you can be confident about your logic. Okay. What else is nothing? What is the difference between data science and programming? The difference is like what is your primary focus in programming? Your primary focus is much more towards building a website or a web app or a mobile app or a business logic. That is the thing. Whereas data science is much more focused towards crunching the data and presenting data in there. Even in data science, you will have programming, but the program in there, the focus is much more towards data. Okay. So it is like driving different bikes. Okay. No matter what bike you are driving, you have to put the gear and then you have to adjust the clutch. Okay. There is no question. The programming is the base for it, but where you use it is different. Programming, you can use it for full stack development. Programming, you can use it for automation testing. Programming, you can use it for data science. So ultimately, programming is the base thing. The amount of difficulty and the amount of challenges you might need is different. It's like buying a car. Which car you want to buy? 4-seater, 6-seater, or SUV or XUV, whatever it is. So that's your choice. That's how it goes on. Okay, that's the difference between this thing. And data science and full stack development, which is best? So okay, I'll answer this question first itself. So the question was like data science or full stack development. So this is how it goes on. So let's assume if you know already a little bit of programming, okay, I mean, primarily it's much more towards the interest. For example, if you ask me, I'm not a pretty much data guy. So I like data, but I'll not crunch data. Okay. Whereas in full stack development, I'll have some output in terms of web page or in terms of mobile app. So I preferred full stack development. This is much more towards the preference of you. Okay. This is one angle of viewing it. So what you love is what you should pick. Let's assume you don't know what you love. Okay. For me, everything is same. Okay. In that case, what you do is like start with, if you know already decent amount of programming, start with front. If you are good in programming, go for a full stack development. If you are a okay person for it, go for either data science or front end development. Don't go for a full stack development, because the full stack development, the expectation is a little higher. Whereas in data science, you use Python. Python is much more superb language. So it will not trouble you much. Okay. So that way it will be good. Okay. Then sir, give tips how to find the logic of the program and how do we learn arrays unable to crack the program. Okay. So to solve the logic, typically, I mean, I also had the same problem, how to think logically. So one of the things which I taught to myself is whenever I see something, okay, when I say it, like, for example, if I go to a supermarket or if I buy a ticket, okay, in bus, I'm saying, okay, or let's say if I'm driving a bike, I've seen a speedometer, okay, I'll try to think, if I am programming that, how will it happen? So I'll try to think logically for it. Okay, so everything I'll try to split into smaller parts. Let's say if you are buying a ticket or let's say booking a cab in Ola or Uber or whatever it is. Okay, what I'll do is like the problem would be like starting point you need it, ending point you need it, distance you need to calculate and find this thing. So if you're able to write this in a code, any language of which I C, C++, Java, what doesn't matter. If you're able to write this logic, you will be comfortable. That's how you grow your logical skills. So let's say in this case, like yesterday we were doing one small thing, like so we are writing I was sitting with another person to write an aptitude generator. Okay, where you have to write a combination of program. Like for example, let's say I have array of 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the output should be 1, 4. Okay, 1, 4 and 7. Okay, 1, 4, 8, 1, 4, 9. Then it should be 1, 5, 7. This was, it's called a Cartesian product. If you are familiar with math, this is a Cartesian product. 1, 5, and then the next one is 8. Okay, 1, 5, 9. Then the next one is 1, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 6, 8. 1, 6. Then the last one is 9. So I have to generate this. Okay, this is the output. So what we did was like we sat. I mean, this was done by another junior programmer. So I was trying to sit with them and then help them out. So we started writing what would be this expectation. So first we wrote it in the paper. I was helping him. So this would be array. Let's say this is array, 3 arrays. Okay, I'm just showcasing it. Array A. Okay. So this array name is A. Okay, it would be A of 0, comma. This is also second one is 0, comma 0. Okay, because this is the first item. Okay, the same way I started doing A of second one is this 4. 4 is where here. Okay, so array of 1, comma 0. First row, 0th column. Okay, so like that I started writing it. Then after started writing, we started splitting that into a for loop. Okay, so after splitting that, it became an n cube thing. Okay, which is, if you are familiar with data structure, it will be like that. So which is a bad thing. So then we started writing the same thing, how to do a Cartesian product. So we went and checked the Cartesian product logic, and then we started exploring this. So this is how I started writing. I told him to learn the arrays. Okay, that's how it started, this Cartesian product. So this is one way to do it. So any logical stuff you have it, you will be able to split it like this, and then this is like writing in paper. So instead of writing in the paper, I am showing it in the notebook. Sorry, in the notepad. Okay, that way you can do it. Okay, then what else is the question? Okay, currently working as a desktop developer. I have interest to web and full stack. Okay, I'll tell that. Generation, upcoming generation, cybersec, or full roadmap, data structures, how to use data structure in problem solving. That itself is a separate topic. For a mechanical student, which is better. So if you are a mechanical student, I mean, so don't discriminate you as a mechanical student, because a lot of good programmers are from mechanical. I've seen like my friends who are excellent programmers are from mechanical. The only thing is you need to dedicate. So to simply start with Python. If you are I assume that you don't know anything about programming. So I'm just recommending you to start with programming as a Python. Okay, so that's how it is. So next question is like, this is the mechanical thing was Katla Nagesh. Then okay, which is the most common backend that is used? That is again subject to the company. Okay, what are the job available in MySQL Lite? Decline. Okay. So what are the job available for MySQL site? I didn't get it. What are the skills required to be a database domain jobs? Okay, SQL developer you're asking. Okay. Okay, I understand the concept like array map, everything. Okay, even I complete the task with some attempts. Okay, questions and solution. I'm struggling. I don't know how. I don't know how. Programming friend, any idea? Please clear. Prashant, I mean, no matter how many years you will have that doubt, okay, for solving it. So you have to bear with it. Like, Manual testing, I want to be a doctor. I can't do it when in group I get the ideas. Okay. Sir, please talk about the possibility of getting arts and science students. We will start top work. Every practice. Okay. Everyone is saying C is better and basic language. But you are saying Python. Okay, I'll answer this question because this is relevant to the current context. So Lokshida is asking, like, everyone is saying C is a basic language, but you're saying Python. Yes, if you ask me, my favorite language is also C, but syntactically a little harder compared to Python. Python is much more simpler and it will give you a confidence. So after learning Python, if you want to learn C, that's also fine. Okay, so my favorite language was C when I was in college, but I started recommending Python because it solves a problem. Sometimes a language has to help someone. It should not demotivate someone. So C, the probability of demotivating is high because if you miss one semicolon, it will say 10 errors. Okay, so that is C. Whereas Python, it is not like that. Python is much more helpful in terms of errors. The only thing you will get is indentation error. After beyond that, like it will be easier. Okay. Any tips to learn coding? Yes, Kogila. I told that as a first. So write the first 2 weeks, write it in paper, then start with it. Okay. Thanks for the webinar. 4th year, I got cloud network company. I want to be a developer. Okay. I'll answer this. Hello, sir. Now I learn HTML. HTML you have to learn always. So that is like ABC. Okay. You can't skip HTML. You have to learn HTML because that's absolutely learning the I wouldn't say syntax, the first pre-KG thing. Okay, I said language is the best to get the place from. Okay, Java or Python, a product-based company. Then limit to join the play staff course completion. Unable to complete. Promote. I become a developer. 3rd year engineering. Don't have any knowledge in the syllabus. Other than syllabus, what should I? Okay, so one of the Shahib Shibil Haq has asked, like, I'm in 3rd year engineering. I'm going to start placements. Okay, I don't have any knowledge other than the syllabus. So one thing you should do is, like, I don't know which department you are from. So you should start doing some mini projects in your department, whatever department. Let's assume you are a computer science. So try to solve some of the computer science projects so that you can get it started with it. So that will be useful for you. Sir, what are the frameworks? Okay, I'll come back to that. Manual testing, front-end development languages, I'll tell that. Please talk about career possibilities. I'm scared. Mechanical engineering coding to this. If you're a mechanical engineer, anybody who's new to coding, I always recommend JavaScript or Python. The first step would be Python. If you are into web development, go for JavaScript. Okay, so that's the suggestion which I have it. If I need help in full stack developer, Java background, front-end language choose. Okay, I'll talk about the languages soon. Okay, yeah, all the QA sessions, let's have it last. Okay. Can ChatGPT can replace programmer? Yes, high possibility. Current which gives the code. Yes, we do. Actually, we do have access. Okay, that is it. Communication skills are important. Yes, it is important, but you don't need to be an orator. But at least you should be able to introduce yourself and answer the question which the interviewer asks. Because that level of communication is always needed, no matter which you are in. For example, let's assume if you are working in a team in Bangalore or Pune or Noida, so wherever it is, you will have cross people, like, I mean, people across India will come and work there. So their English should help you to talk to your colleagues. To that level, you need to know. You don't need to be expert in English, but at least you need to know programming. Okay, can I get full stack development? I'm confused. Okay, I'm from CSC department. Network security. Okay. Rajshekhar, you can learn programming in Tamil. In GUVI, we have Tamil courses. I mean, Python and Tamil, we have it. You can start with it. So, what do companies expect from a fresher? I mean, right now, the expectation is a little harder. Okay, sir, ChatGPT replace programmer. Yes, possibility is there. I'll come back to that. Okay, so we were in this. Okay, so we were talking about the full stack development. So I'll go back to the story. So that's how the trend of full stack development came into the picture. So it was not a new thing. The server side and client side is combined together in a single box, and that became a full stack development. It's nothing but old wine in a new bottle. That's how I would define the full stack development. Okay. As I said, it is used in almost all the apps, all the sites which you watch it, no matter what you use. Even for GUI, we have we have full stack developers. Okay, I'll to talk about the languages in GUVI. For example, we have a full JavaScript framework. We have built our own custom framework in JavaScript for the front end. So that framework is what we use it. And in the back end, we use Node.js, which is JavaScript. We use Python for Python programming for machine learning stuff. We use Golang for a lot of parallel processing stuff. Okay. And then what else we have it? We use PHP. We have PHP, a lot of PHP APIs we have exposed. So these are the predominant 4 languages. And there are other 2 more languages we have it. That is on and off we use it wherever it is needed. So in backend, we have multiple languages. In front end, it's predominantly JavaScript. So that's how it is. Okay. So if you take an example, there are 2 parts to it. For example, one is the display part, right? If you take Swiggy, okay, because everybody loves food, I'm just taking it as all the foods has to be displayed, the cart has to be there, the billing has to be done, the location has to be tracked, the delivery has to be tracked, login has to be there, list of foods in a hotel has to be listed, list of open source has to be there. So all those things are part of the full stack development. In the front end, you will display all those stuff. In the back end, you will write the logic for it. In the database, you will store everything. These are 3 primary parts to it. Okay. So whatever you see in the display is the front end in a simplest way. And whatever you don't see or which is happening at the back side. Okay. So that is much more towards logical things or back end. Okay. And where you store your data, what you purchased, what is the food available, what are the list of company, stores open, all those things would be stored somewhere, right? That's the database part of it. Okay. Yeah. So this is how it is. For a developer, this is how we see it. Like so whatever you display, everything we call as a front end. For everything that's stored, that's a database. For every logic, promo codes, billing, assigning the executives, any logics, that will happen in the backend. So backend is nothing but that something that is running in the server, whereas frontend is nothing but which runs in your mobile app or your web app, your laptop or any browser. That's how it is. And database also runs in the server. So these 2 mostly you will not see as a user. This is the predominant part we'll use. You know it. Okay. You can try listing the same for any other apps which you are familiar with. Try to list logically all those things. This is one of the logical tests which you can do it. And this is what I was saying. In the front end, when it comes to the web development, so client side or a client side development is your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, these 3 items you need to learn. Okay, so you can't skip any of these 3. You don't have a choice when it comes to front end. And let's assume if you are a first-time programmer and you want to get into web development, I would advise you to stop right away in the front end. Don't learn back end. Okay, backend, try to understand. Okay, if somebody is teaching, listen to it, that's fine, but don't learn backend. You stop yourself in the front end. In the front end itself, you have a lot of things to play. For example, you can be a UI developer, not designer. UI developer, okay, where you have to design the responsive web pages or websites. Okay, the second one is you can be a React developer or Angular developer or a Vue.js developer or a Next.js developer. That kind of front-end component developer you can become. Okay, so stop right away there. If you are a guy who wants to get into full stack development and you want to stop, you don't push yourself too much. Over a period of time, probably after 2 years, you can become full stack developer. First 3 months, learn everything. Let's assume if you are joining a full stack development course in GUVI, you listen to everything, but you focus only on the React or the Angular or the front-end part alone. Okay, don't go into all the things. Other things you listen and then keep it ready. Okay, when it comes to backend is good. Okay, so when to become a full stack developer? Okay, becoming a full stack developer, you will get more job, more salary. That's a simple answer to it. Okay, so in front end it is small part, so lesser salary. In back end you will have bigger salary if you learn most of the things. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, but you decide which one is comfortable for you. So which is the trade-off that you can take it. If you are already knowing certain level of programming, let's assume some of my friends are from mechanical who does good programming, they can be a full stack developer. Okay, some of the CS guys who's there who has never touched coding in the college life except the labs. So I generally suggest them to become a front end itself. Don't go beyond that. Like that, I go do it. Okay. In the back end, you can have different languages. For example, as I said, Python, Node.js, which is a JavaScript thing, PHP, Java, okay, ASP.NET. If you are a Microsoft developer, you can be like that. So like that, any one of this language you can pick it. So in general, here also I would recommend to, if you are a first time programmer and you want to be a full stack developer, stop with Node.js itself. Don't go with other languages. Okay, let's assume you already learned Java somewhere. Okay, then go for Java based backend, which is Spring. Okay, that you can do it. And database, there are a lot of databases are available. In that, try to learn one SQL database and one NoSQL database. SQL database will help you to keep all your transactional data, whereas NoSQL will help you to give the help store the unstructured data. So what I mean by unstructured data is like let's say in GUVI you have it. So number of courses is a count. As a count is a transactional data. You can store that on MySQL. Okay, let's say what are the course titles that you want to have it. If the better choice would be to store in the NoSQL database. In GUVI, that's how we did it. So we store the unstructured or the dynamic contents in the MongoDB. In this case, we use MongoDB. Whereas in other places, like we use MySQL as a primary transactional database. And for other, I mean, I'm not getting deep into that part because we have other parts in the database as well. In the simplest form, this is how it is. Okay, so this is how we use it in GUVI. Okay, and this is what it is like in olden days, like so CTC for a front-end developer, bare minimum would be 1 to 3 lakhs. The same with the others. So if you are a full stack developer, you can combine all these three and then charge somewhere around 5 to 9 lakhs as well, depending upon your skill or depending upon the projects, number of projects you put in, you can charge them. So like that it is. So it is a trade-off between what is your expectation versus what is you can do it. So we can dream certain things, but we have to go step by step. So like that you can start with it. Okay. And so this is a full stack developer thing. Typically it will be 4 to 21 lakhs. Okay. If a full stack developer, if you are a full stack developer, where you can start somewhere around, I said 5 lakhs, but median salary, which is out there in market is 4 lakhs, 4 lakhs too. And we in GUVI itself, people who have gone through it, who's got up to 21 lakhs, but there are some jobs which is more than that as well. I haven't mentioned there here. Okay. So what are the challenges? So some of the challenges, like if I'm a full stack developer, which one to choose? MERN, mean, instead of React, should I use Next.js? Should I use Vue.js? Okay. Or a Jamstack? A lot of stacks are available. So which one to pick is a challenge. So first let's understand what it is, where it fits in. Okay. Then we'll go for it. So in a mean stack, M stands for MongoDB, E for Express.js, A for AngularJS, and N for Node. Okay, the same way, MERN, M for MongoDB, Express.js, R for React, and N for Node. This is how it goes on. Okay, so it is suggested or possible to become only a backend developer. Yes, you can. You can absolutely you can become a backend developer. You don't need to learn full stack development or a front end. If you check at me, I mean my career, I was not great with front end because my aesthetic sense or the sense of colors and design is very pathetic. But I'm very good in my logic, so I stayed only in the back end. I never developed any front end stuff. Okay, so it is always good. It is okay to stay with back end alone. Nothing wrong in that. Anything else in the chat? Okay, one of the things like, so I am from a non-IT background, so it is taking too hard to cover old one due to logical thinking, and please give me some tips. So I would suggest, as I said in the earlier itself, so if you are from, if you are a first-time programmer into or starting the programming, start with Python or JavaScript and stick only to those languages. Okay, don't jump into any other languages for the first 2 years. Okay, after 2 years, you can jump to any language. It doesn't matter. You'll know it. It's like riding a bike. If you know one bike, you can ride any other bike, right? The same thing. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking you to stick is like to make the focus better. That is the only thing, nothing else. Okay. Currently, Elon, okay, Bharat, I'll come back to your question a little later because the same GPT-3 is asked in multiple places. Even in GUVI, we use GPT-3 for code generation in certain cases. Okay, I'll come back to that story. So this is a front end. This is how it is. So the front end, you can use Angular or React or Vue.js, or even you can add Next here or any other frameworks. So it doesn't matter which framework you pick one framework and be a strong in that. Okay, so Angular is supported by Google, so it will be there forever. React is supported by Facebook, so again it will be always there forever. Okay, that's how it is. Whereas Vue is also good. In my personal, if you ask me personally, I would I love a little bit towards Vue, and Next is also good. Next.js is server side React only, so Next is also okay kind of it. So there is no much difference between any front end framework you pick it. So pick React because that is the trend or a popular thing. So, but it doesn't mean that it is good. If something is popular, doesn't mean that it is good or it is the best. Okay. So it is there because a lot of companies are preferring it. Okay. That's how it is. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. So that is the front end part of it. And when it comes to the back end, you have a lot of things. For example, in the JavaScript side, you have Express.js, okay, Meteor side, a lot of things are there in the back end. In the database, okay, MongoDB is there, okay, which is purely JavaScript based. It is nothing but JavaScript, JSON storage. Okay, whereas the other things are also there. Okay, so in GUVI, we prefer JavaScript full stack development. It doesn't mean that we don't reject any other things. The reason is like learning one language will make you comfortable, or like you don't need to fight too many things. Chandrasekhar, the Tamil epa contact பண்ணுவீங்க. I'll check with the team. Okay, I'll check with the team and update you. Right now, this would be only in English right now, so I'll not switch to Tamil. Okay. Okay, Harish, I'll answer your question a little later because that is off the topic. Okay, so in the front end, so to give much more details, so in the front end, you have to learn HTML, CS, JS plain thing fully. Okay, then when it comes to HTML, I would suggest HTML5, okay, and CSS3, okay, and jQuery is always optional. SAS is also a good thing. And learn Bootstrap. Bootstrap is one of the framework. Okay, so that you can learn. That is a good choice. Then learn any one of the frameworks like Angular, React, or Vue, or Next, or anything you can learn. React and Next are kind of similar category. That is the thing. And in the back end, so in the server side, as I was saying, Python, JavaScript, again, PHP, Java, all those things. When it comes to Python, Flask and Django are the popular frameworks which is out there. Okay, and when it comes to Node, it's Express.js. Okay, JavaScript is Node and Express.js, and it is PHP. Laravel is there. Okay, that is the one popular thing. And Java, you have Jersey or Spring, you have it, which you can build it. And ASP, you have ASP.NET, so you don't need a confusion there. You can straightforward get it started like that. And database, my general recommendation would be start with MySQL, okay, or even Postgres. The reason why I'm saying is it is free and open source. If you are Oracle, you have to install a cracked version. That's why I'm not suggesting it. Or else there is no difference between these three guys. Any one of the things you can do it. And in the NoSQL, start with MongoDB. MongoDB would be my suggestion. Whereas the other things are okay, good only. But my preference would be like that. So what are the other questions that are? So what is the role of UI designer and developer? Yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So UI designer is, for example, somebody who designs the beautiful UI. So he should be good in Photoshop or any other UI tools. Okay. Whereas UI developer is like, let's assume you given an image, like first web page should be like this. If somebody gives the image, you have to convert that into HTML, CSS and JavaScript. That is the UI developer. Okay. So that is one easy role that anybody who's as a first timers can start with it. So in that, your primary worry would be responsive web design. When I say responsive web design, it's called RWD, which means that the same web page, if you see it in different screen sizes, it should fit in. Okay, that's called responsive web design. So that is one thing which a UI developer will do. Designer doesn't care about this thing. All he needs to give is assets in the images and how it looks like, all those things, button colors, all those things he'll decide. So that's the difference between that's the difference between UI designer and developer. Okay. Sir, I have doubt in GUVI app that you have separate code, and for website, yes. So GUVI app has certain limitations. Okay. Whereas in web, we have a lot of other features. I mean, the reason is like we have a very small team of developers. We are doing one by one. We'll do it slowly. Okay. How many months it will take to be a full stack developer? So ideally to know it, it's 3 months is good enough. Okay. But to master it, it will take 2 years. So knowing is different from mastering it. For knowing to get a job, 3 months is more than enough. Okay. To master it, you would need 2 years. Okay. 2 years to master anything. Okay. Any stack, any full stack. Okay. Whether it's Java stack or a JS stack or a Python stack or a ASP stack, it doesn't matter. Okay. But to know, to get a job, 3 months is more than enough. So I have a career gap to skill up. Which one is the best? Start with the beginner module, which I said, right? Python or JavaScript, and a little bit towards front end or data science. Data science is also a good choice, which you can do it. Again, front end or data science is absolutely your preference, because you should know it. If you ask me, I'm not a designer, or I don't have the idea of the design, so I prefer data science. Okay, like that it is. Okay, Blazor, front end, all those things are fine. What is the basic project to get a good job? Okay, okay, I'll address that, Bharat. Okay, I'm skipping all Bharat question to the last. Okay, service-based company, web development product company. I'll address that, Lokshita. Okay, so this is how the backend is. Okay, and when you see the full stack developer, this is how it will be. So you'll be working on HTML. See, for example, this is a Stack Overflows thing. Okay, their job profile. Okay, as a full stack developer, you will be working on front end, HTML, CSS, Java side, and C# and database like MySQL Server, Redis, and Elasticsearch. So you will be the guy who will be the driver, who will be the cleaner, who will be the mechanic. You will be everything. That's the expectation of full stack developer. Okay. For example, in my case, if you in GUVI's case, if you ask it, like our developer is the guys who does the front end. If it is a back end, they take care of the either Golang or whatever it is. Even they take care of the AWS cloud. They take care of database invariably. Okay. They even take care of the security as well. We don't have any security analyst here. The developers are the security guys. So when you are a full stack guy, you have to do everything. So you are the janitor, you are the boss. So both the things you are that in a full stack development. Okay, so this is how it is. Like full stack developer is a combination of front end dev tools. When I say dev tools, it could be GitHub or Bower or everything. Little bit on SEO, little bit on DevOps, little bit on database, little bit on design. Okay, all those things is a combination of it. So for a fresher, we don't expect everything to be strong. Okay. What we expect for a fresher, as a full stack developer, is like if I put him in the project, will he learn everything in 1 week? Okay, so that is my expectation when I hire it. Like, so he will not come and ask, saying that, sir, please train me. Then only I'll be a good developer. No. So for a full stack developer, I don't have that expectation. I want him to be productive as soon as possible. Some more 7 questions are there. Let me check. Can someone weak in mathematics opt data science? Yes, you can. I mean, this mathematics is not your integration or differentiation. This is much more to your statistics, where you need to learn mean, median, mode, those kind of stuff. And if you're good with detailed focus, go with data science. Math is needed, but it doesn't stop you to become a data science guy. If you know math, it is good. Okay, sir, it is possible to develop web application for all platforms. Yes. Okay. The question is like, can I develop a web application and a mobile application using the same tools? Yes, you can do it. For example, we build our app in React Native. The same app goes for iOS, same app goes for Windows. Okay, and similarly, we have the similar framework for web as well. And we expose everything as an API and we consume it here as well in GUVI. I'm a BCA passed out. Can I go for a Java full stack? Yes, if you know Java a little bit already, yes, you can go for it. This is for Ajay. I'm a chemistry student. I don't have a coding knowledge. Which course would be best? Chemistry guys, I would suggest you to go for a data science, because data science is as complex as your equations. Okay, so if you love equations, the similar thing you can go for a data science as well. That is two, both are a good thing. So DBA, full stack, Python stack. Yes, Mohan, if you know Python, you can become a Python full stack developer. Should I learn about Git? Yes. Harish, you don't have a choice. You have to learn Git. Okay. Can you do this type of webinar for data science also? Yes, we can do it. I will make a note of it, Kali. I'll ask the team to do it. Another doubt, how to develop a secure web application? That's a long question. So right now, learn SQL injection and other practices. That will be a good place. Go and search for OWASP WASP. Okay, that is a good place to start with. Naveen Ram. Okay, software engineer, BBA to software engineer. Yes, it is possible. Again for Naveen Ram, speak about IT job security. Job security is never there in IT. It is always challenging. So if you are not skilled, you will be fired. So be ready for it as well. So it is not a government job. Vetri. So Vetri's question was speak about job security. It is a little harder. So I have done Java Spring. That's good, Ajay. Then you should go for a Spring, Java Spring. Now we have done Spring, next Spring. Is there any alternative for Heroku? Yes, lot of alternatives are there. AWS is there. We host everything in AWS, Valava. Okay. So a lot of alternatives are there. A lot of PaaS platforms are available. It's called PaaS. Search for PaaS platforms, PaaS, platform as service. Okay. Everyone knows coding. What made to become a CEO? I will learn everything. No, actually, as a CEO role, I haven't learned much. I'm still learning it. Okay, in that I'm a fresher, so I'm learning Lokshita. Nishpa is better learning a Python full stack development, Java full stack. It is pretty easier for both. I would suggest if Nisha Priya, if you are starting for a fresh, I would say start learning JavaScript full stack development. So it's a MERN stack or a mean stack. Start with that, because that will be much more better than other things. If you already know a language, go for it. If you don't know, start with JavaScript full stack development. I'm a mechanical engineering bias. I have to go with the AWS DevOps app. That is your choice, Sanjay. I can't push you, but you can become a data science guy. You can become a programmer. Anything you can be, because nowadays it's not that hard. I know to design UI. I'm good in Java. Can I become a design is different from development, Bharat. Okay. So if you love designing something, please go out with the design. The UI UX has become a very, very demanding field. A lot of openings are there. So Bharat, I would suggest you to, if you are if you love design, go for UI UX. Okay, I am not good in design, so I envy those guys. Okay, Nishpriya answered. Give some Java full stack developer. Ajay, to become a Java full stack developer, very simple. Start with Java Spring. Okay, and build some microservices in Java Spring. How long? Lot more questions. Let me come from the bottom. So how to? I know Kotlin. Will it be helpful in full stack development? No, it will not be. Kotlin as a language, it will be helpful, but directly you will not apply Kotlin here. This is for Devi Priya. So if you are good in Kotlin, go with the mobile app development. Don't jump into full stack. In Java FSD, which languages are taught? Okay, so typically we have a different. For example, in GUVI itself we have Python full stack, Java full stack, and JavaScript full stack. So if you're a fresher, we always recommend you to go for a JavaScript full stack, which is a MERN stack. Okay. And then I know C and C++. Can I do full stack development? Yes, absolutely. Who is this? Amirda. Because I know only C and C++. Those are my favorite languages. I became a full stack developer. You can be also. I am a math graduate, data science or full stack. Math graduate, data science. Maxwell, go for it. So that you love data science. DSA is necessary for full stack. It is Shivapriyan. Sai Pavan, okay, Sai Pavan, I'm just, I don't know the second, I couldn't read it. So DSA is needed if you want to get into bigger product companies. Yes, no choice. If it is in the range of 4 to 7 lakhs, it doesn't need. Anything above 7 to 8 lakhs, you need DSA. Scope of SAP ABP in project, yes, it is there. Still it is there. A lot of companies use the SAP ERPs. Okay, that is there. I fairly have knowledge in Python and SQL. What to do next in backend? We learn or the Django or Flask. GUVI provides AWS certification. Yes, we are in talks with AWS. We have signed up. We'll provide soon. Right now, it is not there. Probably in a month, we'll do it. Okay. I'm a fresher. I start coding in C and now I'm good in till string arrays. Where I continue with it. Brian Roy, if you are in college, please go out with C itself because that is the only place where you can learn much more. And I don't know which department you are in. If you are from electronics department, go with C. Okay, after completing C, learn any other language, everything would be easier. C is like driving a bicycle. It is really hard. You have to pedal a lot. Once you learn that, you can drive any bike. Okay, so that is not a good thing. So that's not a bad thing. Sorry. Learn. Okay, sir, we can do another session. Learn 2 hours coding due to some issues. Okay, we can do that session as well. Probably I'll ask the team to do a session for coding in 2 hours. Okay, that we can do it. Okay, some more questions are there. Explain a cloud engineer. Cloud engineer, okay, for example, previously everything used to be promised. I mean, if you are familiar with the network engineers or administrators, they used to work on the physical computers. Right now, for example, in GUVI, we have everything in EC2 machines only. We don't have any machines. We bought the first server and then we kept it out there. Beyond that, we don't have any machines. Everything stays in the cloud, the code and everything. So the cloud engineer is a guy who designs and architects the system for it. But in our case, our full stack guys are cloud engineers for GUVI. How do you get a job in MERN stack? Study well. That's the only thing, Raj Yogan. I mean, Raj Yogan, for you, like build a portfolio. At least have a minimum 5 projects. Okay, so that will be good, help you to get a job. What language you would prefer for DSA? Python, Java, any out of these, anything you prefer. The reason is like it has a lot of libraries and it crashes a minimal. Okay, that's the reason. Previously, I mean, if you are familiar with C++, go for it, but I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, for DSA. Bharat says that can I get an internship opportunity in GUVI? Yes, you can. Very simple. So anybody can do it. For example, in GUVI, if you see guvi.in/intern, it doesn't matter whether you are in Zen or not. If you are able to solve the web development task, this task with these rules, okay, you can be you can do internship. Download the task, follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, it will not be. The task is very simple, but the rules are very strict. Okay, for us, that's how it is. So Bharat, that's the answer for you. Sir, blockchain versus full stack development, which is better? I wouldn't compare anything one with the others. It's up to you. Like you pick anything. Like blockchain is much more towards Web3. Full stack development is much more towards Web2. Okay, so if you can learn Web3 on your own, please go out with blockchain. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, again, right now Web3 is not in a good shape. Okay, a lot of confusions are going there. I'm a fresher. I want to come into IT. What should I study first? Python. Vetri, that's the answer for you. Okay. How long does it take for somebody who can be coding to be job ready? Coding to job ready, minimum 5 months. I mean, assuming you don't know anything about coding. How I would split is like first 2 months for learning programming. Next 2 months is for, first whole month is for learning programming, any language, solve in code kata. Okay. That's the first month. Second month, follow full stack development path. That is the second month. In that second month, you will be doing much more towards front end. Third month, you will be much more towards the back end. And the fourth month is much more towards the project. Fifth month is also much more to project. So last 2 months is for project. Then you can get it started. So this is just to get a job. I am not saying like you will get the super duper job, but to get into enter into IT, that is good enough. 5 to 6 months is good enough depending upon the person on an average. Want to learn Python from scratch, where to begin? In GUVI, we have a Python course. You can start with it in your own mother tongue, whichever language. So I think that is free as well, I guess. Only for certificates, we charge it. For course, Python course, we are giving it free, if I'm right. Sir, what about your opinion in learning full stack development? My degree is college artificial intelligence machine learning. What is always what ways? Yeah, I mean, Nisha Priya, it helps you to do it. For example, with full stack development, you will be able to build a full-fledged project in deploy and then build it in AI. Whatever you have built it, models you build, okay, you can deploy and then you can expose the API and you can consume in the front end and showcase better output to the your prospective job recruiters and then get a job. That way, full stack development will be helpful for you. Okay. I know Java. Can I go to Java FSD? Yes, Java FSD would be there. Spring FSD. Java Spring. That is the thing. Okay. Like that, it goes on. I'm a game development, good career choice for game, became a game developer. AG Vignesh or AG Nivesh. Okay. Become a game developer. No questions. There are a lot of openings out there. Sir, how many projects you need to complete for a good package salary? Good package means at least that's what I mean. Any job, 5 projects is good. Okay, 5 projects you did it in one. That's the benchmark, I would say. Okay, I'm working on a front end developer. I am blah blah blah. After okay, Sugandha, that you have to ask your company because I cannot answer your salary. Okay. Something about AI learning. Okay. Yeah. Vetri, a lot of. Okay. Let me check whether I have completed everything here. Okay. Full stack developer. This is a job distribution, average salary. Where to start? Yeah. So you'll have something. I mean, you can go and search for it. This image, I picked it from the internet. Front end roadmap. but this has extensive things on what to learn it. The same way backend roadmap is also there. This is one place where you can get it started, or you can go for our GUVI thing, where it is. So if you go there, I mean, to give an idea, I'm saying, go to full stack development. So what are the topics over here would be a good place to start with it. So this is a path, like, so either you learn it in GUVI or not, it doesn't matter. So these topics would be good enough to get you become a full stack developer. Okay, so these are topics. Good front end projects. Okay, Swati Priya, to start with the front end project is like try to imitate your favorite 5 apps. It could be Prime, it could be Netflix, it could be GUVI, it could be Swiggy, it could be Zomato, it could be Ola or Uber. Any one of the, pick any 5 projects. It could be Zoho, it could be Microsoft, any app in Microsoft. Anything, try to imitate that. So imitation is the best way to learn, to start with. If you are able to imitate 100%, you are a very good developer. Okay, that's the way I would suggest. Front end dev courses available in GUVI or full stack? In full stack only. In full stack, you can stop at the front end and then you can start learning focus towards there. Manian, that's the answer. We have it. Ultimately, in full stack, as part of the full stack, we have it. I know Python. Can I learn full stack development using JavaScript? Yes, absolutely. Prashant, you can. Prashant, you can. Sir, I have completed my BC. I'm good in PHP, very good, and MySQL, that's all good. Should I go for MERN or recommend? So go for MERN, nothing wrong with that. MERN is a good choice for you. Lohit Raju, that's a good choice. Okay, let me go to the PPT. Okay, so these are 2 places where you can get it started. So backend roadmap, go and search for it. Backend roadmap, you will be able to get it. Like go BSc backend roadmap. If you search for it in the images, you'll get it. Like see, so these are the things. So this roadmap would be good enough for you to get it started. For the roadmap, that's how I picked that slide. That's a very good place to get it started. Can you complete in 90 days? Yes, you can absolutely. As I said, like, so the first, I mean, as this is the assumption, you know programming. Okay. If you don't know programming, add 1 more month towards this. Okay. First month is towards learning programming. So when you learn programming, go and solve in Code Kata. So I told in the first, so in the Code Kata, what to learn is, so array MAS, mathematics, array and string, MAS, 30 problems in each. That should be, that should make you as a good developer. I mean, decent developer. Then you can start with the full stack development. Okay, it could be Python also. It doesn't need to be JavaScript. It could be Python as well. Yeah, this is a thing which I said. Right? Okay, this is the thing. Let me switch to the queries still more. Arul, you can reach out to the team and then get it done. We'll be able to help you out. Yes, you can. Umapati, you can get the access towards it. And that is the answer for you. Okay. What else? Reshmi, to answer your question, actually, the other companies are much more charging than that. Like, whatever we are is very much affordable. Okay, Bharat, can you paste the same question? I'll answer it. So one is towards GPT. So GPT is nothing but, okay, for those who doesn't know what is GPT is, GPT-3. Okay. One. Yeah, GPT-3. GPT-3 is a model that is built by a company called OpenAI. For those who doesn't know OpenAI, it is, I mean, right now it is everywhere in the news, it is there. So this is done, this company is supported by Elon Musk. Okay, so this is one of the biggest AI change which has recently happened. So in some cases, it has beaten even human knowledge. So it will be able to generate anything. For example, code generation can be done. So right now I don't have it. Like I'll show. We have a in GUVI we have a early access to OpenAI. I mean OpenAI API. So we built something called two things. One is code generator, where you can ask help in your language and it will generate the code and give it to you when you're stuck. That is one thing which we have built it, and we have a early access to few developers internally. When I say few developers, few Zen people, Zen users we have given it. Second one is, for example, recently one of the things is like right, we are part of HCL right now. HCL was asking for aptitude questions. So typically for generating aptitude questions, it takes per question, let's say it takes 250 rupees, okay, to get it from a subject matter expert, instead of you developing it or copying it from the net, okay, to create a genuine question. Okay, we tried the same thing using GPT-3. We're able to generate that without any flaw, with 76% accuracy using GPT-3, even with the solutions and explanations. So what it means is to give a context. So let's say if you are generating 2 lakh questions, we would have spent around 5 crores just for creating the questions alone. So right now we are able to do that with the minimal cost. I mean, for Open API, Elon Musk company, we are paying for API access, that we need to pay for it because that's we are using their model to do it. But we are able to generate that at the low, at least 1/10 of the cost which we have it. Okay, this is one use case where GPT-3 is there. GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. That is what it is. Okay, we use this as a API. We are one of the companies in India. Very few companies in India got the early API access. We are one in that. Okay. So that is one of the examples for it. In using GPT-3, you can people are doing a lot of things. For example, like GPT, there is something called DALE. Okay, go and check it out. This thing, you can do a lot of interesting stuff. Okay, here DALE 2. This is also one of the same thing. So this is also another API thing where you describe something, it will generate the image. Okay, this is again from the same this thing. So create an astronaut with a teddy bear with a bowl of soup. Okay, so it generated everything on its own without any Photoshop, anybody was doing it, and it is generated in a photorealistic style. See, this is a pencil drawing. Okay, it was auto created. Okay, tropical lounge. So riding a horse in a tropical lounge, playing a basketball. Okay, all these images were generated by AI. Okay, like GPT-3, DALE is also another. I mean, same. Think like it's some of the same model kind of it. They have created, and it can also create code. When I say code, proper working code. In GUI, we have it. Okay. So if you ask the addition of 2 numbers, it will generate and give it the code for it. I'm saying that as an example. Like that, you can create complex algorithms in a, what is that? Moduled way. It will not generate everything for you, but it will generate parts for you. There are some flaws as well. Still, it is there. Okay, but it is competing with the human skills for coding. Okay, one other question is like how after GPT-3, how full stack developer would be there. So no matter what GPT-3 comes in, there will be always a need for a developer because 2 things. One is this is much more customized for every individual thing. A lot of customization has to be done. So that the companies will not give it for GPT-3 because that is again controlled by Microsoft. So we don't want to reveal our logic to them or right now. So most of the companies may or may not, use GPT-3 for their coding stuff. Okay, on top of GPT-3, somebody can write an app. Okay, that is possible, but right now it will not, at least for some time, it will not be there. Okay, data science. I mean, again, the job is much more towards the data science related stuff only. Okay. Will full stack would be much more stressful or data science? Yes, full stack would be stressful compared to a data science thing. There is no doubt in that comparatively. Okay, that's why I said, like, for a full stack developer, if you're a first timer, stop in front end itself. Don't go for full stack. Full stack would be for somebody who knows already a little bit of thing, and then you can explore the next level, like that it is. Okay, or else stop in the front end. That will be the best suggestion which you should follow. A project to be developed before interview, as I said, imitate any one of the apps of your favorite thing. Okay, so if you imitate to the 100%, you'll the companies would love and they'll be able to pick you. And by the way, you will also learn Bharat. Anything else I missed? Elon Musk said future is about AI or something about AI learning. Yeah, those will be always there, Vetri. So you don't worry too much about it. Umapati, in GUVI itself, we have a lot of courses. You can start with it. Even GUVI, we have, for example, GUVI, we have a advanced data science program. Okay, this along with IIT Madras, we are doing it. You can pick this as well. Placements, yes, we do support a lot of in placements. Okay, so what we do is we have a in Zen. I mean, this is only for Zen. Okay, not for courses. In Zen, what we do is we have a, let's say you complete the course in 3 months, and the 4th and 5th month you will be asked to build a project and portfolio. And based on your portfolio, we review the portfolio. Then only we recommend you to different companies. We have a separate team for it. We have around 200 plus companies who hire from us regularly. Okay, it doesn't mean that they exclusively hire from us. Okay, because for any company they hire from multiple sources. So we would be one of their sources. To maintain our sanity, we check the portfolio projects. We suggest you to build the real projects, and we do a lot of mock interviews, and finally we send them to for interviews in the places, different companies. That's how it goes on for placements. Shaktivel, I don't know your background. So without knowing the background, I can't suggest whether it's a data science or data engineering. I'm interested in database. So if you're interested in database, start with data science than data engineering. Data engineering is much more towards the pipelining and the cloud stuff. Whereas data science is much more towards playing with the data. So I know Python, SQL. Dinesh, go for data science. That will be a good place to start with. So good evening. Explain the Russian, how to improve. So Russian is always there. Like so once in a while there will be a up and down. So don't worry too much about it, Vijay Kumar. Okay. Yes, you are living in Swiss. Who is that? Anthony. Yes, you can learn it. I mean, we do remotely only, so you can learn it directly from here. Okay, with our team. So you can register and get it started. I'm learning SAP cloud application. It will help to become a developer. And will there be coding less? Yes, Anirudh, it will be. What are the basic things? The language, basic things are language to be. So to Dinesh, start with JavaScript if you are a first timer. That is the one language you should start with. Then after mastering JavaScript, either go for Java or Python. That's the second language. Or even you can go for Golang as well. So this is after mastering Python. Again, I'm stressing that. Okay, without mastering, don't jump into second language. Reshmi, yes, you can. There are a lot of jobs are available. You can reach out to the HR team if there is anything. We do have a lot of people. I mean, we completely work from home, most of the things. Monthly, once in a month, 1 week we work from office. The rest of the other 3 weeks we work from home. So any other questions which I missed it? Only learning full stack will be enough to get in job. Yes, you can. I'll be able to get it like Lokshita, learn data DS as well. If you are targeting somewhere above 8 lakh, learn data structures. Then later, what can I do next? So learning data, solving problem solving using C and C++. Amrita, be strong in the DSA itself. So in DSA, I don't know what is the level you are in. So if you are in the level of DP, dynamic programming, that is good enough. Okay, then go for it. Lokshita, yes, I said right. We do provide internship. GUVI.in/intern. GUVI.in/intern. This is for developer interns. You come here. So these are the rules. So the problem is simple, but the rules are strong. If you don't follow any one of the rules, we'll reject it. For backend, what is the language I suggest for a fresher? Backend again, JavaScript is good enough. So you have Node.js, right? Start with Node.js because MongoDB you can learn. So Hari Prasad, that is a session for you. If you already know some language, go for it. Okay, let's assume you learn something Python or Java in college. Go for it, or else stay with JavaScript. Do full stack developers mandatory learn that DSA? No, not at all, Swati. So your DSA is not mandatory. SAP, Anirudh, I am not a great person in SAP because I'm a programmer. In the SAP side, I know a little bit because my friends are there, but not much about it. Sorry. Lokshita, I mean, for learning, don't restrict to one company or one place. So learning, Google is the best place. Like you can learn from it. What GUVI does is it helps you to learn on a focus. That's all. Okay. So whatever, see, in 3 months, we can teach only certain things. Rest of the things you have to learn from everywhere. Okay. So till date, I also learned from a lot of other places. Don't restrict yourself to any one company. It doesn't need to be GUVI, any company. Okay. So think GUVI like a doctor. Okay. We can help you to fix your problem in a week. Okay. Give tablets. That's all. But to become a healthy guy, you have to follow practice and then you can cleanse yourself regularly by food and by exercise. That's how it is. So learning, I mean, we think ourselves as like a doctor. We are a short-term helpers. We are not the guy who can solve all your problems. I'm 28. Yes, you can start with it. So Shaktivel, you can to answer your question. Malar, we had it, but we removed it, but we'll upload it soon. I'll ask the team to do it, but it'll take some time. But you can learn. I think we have a React. I mean, in a full stack development, we are Tamil. You can get. You can join that as well. That will help you. Lokshita, go and learn from internet. You will be able to do it. See, all these things, whatever we are showing. So everything you can learn it in maximum 3 to 4 weeks. Crack aptitude. I think placement prep is another place where you can. So this is a place where you could start with for placements. Where is who asked for placements? Vignesh, this is a place. Like I think we do have the link over here, I guess, if I'm right. Yeah, placement. Okay, this is with respect to that one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a placement preparation. So in solutions, go for placement preparation. You will be able to get it done. Vignesh, that's for you. Okay. Front-end development course learning duration 3 months. Is it possible flexing time classes? Probably, Anthony, I would suggest you to talk to the team and then get it done because that's pretty well.